Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes. We are the elite, and you are the weak. No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I am the microphone messiah, Phillip Antoine. I'm joined by the Canadian destroyer, BT, Brandon Tanguma. We are here for yet another bullet cast. What episode is this? 451? 451, excuse me.
451, that's what they tell me.
Yes, that is what they tell us. Under the Radar did episode 104 this past weekend.
Yep, they're talking all out live from Toronto. And then we also did our WrestlePalooza recap together. So
yes, a lot of content going out from the bullet cast. Also, we put out on our respective IGs and the Bulletcast IG. Listen, man, the year is almost up, and we want to get some interviews out there. We haven't done any all this year. I'm sorry, life's been busy, but we plan to rectify that. We really do. So, man, if you're listening, let us know. Let us know who you want to see on this show within our reach, realistically within our grasp. Let us know, and we will try to make it happen. I'm already in talks with one talent about doing an interview next week. So hey, come on, man.
there we go. I mean,
Yes,
like you said, we gotta start doing some more interviews.
Yes, we have to get some out there. All right, the PWI 500. It is out. The 500 best wrestlers in the world. A lot of Bay Area, a lot of Bay Area talent and NorCal town. You know, a lot of homies are on this. I think Jacob's number 20, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on now, Big Jabelski, Big Jaku Fatu. Number 1 is what, the American Nightmare. Read us the top 10.
So top 10 eclectic mix, as you'd expect from different corporations. Cody Rhodes, Mr. Rhodes, number 1. Then John Moxley, who was for the most of the year the AEW World Champion, number 2. Gunther, Hangman Adam Page at 5. Hangman Page was at 4. Goto was at 5. Jey Uso, Swerve Strickland, Seth Rollins, Mystico at number 9, and then Will Ospreay at number 10. And then just right outside, Okada, Hendry, Zack Sabre Jr., Obafemi, and CM Punk at number 15.
Okay. PWI is always a great. I mean, it's a great list. I mean, I like to look at it and see, okay, this is where so and so is. I mean, it's all based in kayfabe. There are people that don't agree with it. I mean, what's your take on it?
I mean, we do this every year. It's a, like you said, it's a kayfabe list for the most part, and if you look at it, it makes total sense. You know, Rhodes, Moxley, Gunther, Page. I guess, you know, he was in there for a little bit. Goto, Uso, a lot of these, and Mystico are going to be the top world champions for their respective companies.
Yes.
So, you know, it makes a ton of sense. They kind of like to fluctuate and kind of, you know, bounce back and forth, you know, between different companies or different, you know, guys. So it's not just the same person every single year.
Different people on the indies. Shout out to the homie Chris Nasty, 496.
And I always like to go all the way to the end just to see, because a lot of people are going to be, I have no idea who they are. Number 500, Serial Man. Phillip, do you know Serial Man?
Hood Slam's finest.
There you go. So
right here in
Serial Man, number 500.
Right here in the bizay.
And Tommy Dreamer, 487.
Come on, Tommy Dreamer. All these years later.
Crowbar, 92. Is that's the real Crowbar?
Yeah, ECW Crowbar. I met him in WrestleMania Philly. Great guy.
Still doing it. God bless him.
In the ECW arena that night. Still going. Excellent talent. You love to see it, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody that made the PWI 500. As a performer in this industry, that's obviously one of the goals, right? To hopefully make the list. I know there are cats that do feel some type of way that they never get on there. It's hard, man. I mean, there's so much talent in this game, and then it's easier now more than ever to obviously get noticed, given, you know, I mean, it's easier, but it's still hard, you know, given social media. I mean, you could have that one viral clip. Like, what's the clip going around right now? Cyclope doing the big spiral suplex off of that structure onto all that glass. I'm sure you've seen that.
I mean, the top 100 are kind of easy because a lot of those guys are going to be the,
Signed
mainstream,
guys. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
North American, Japanese, Mexico guys. So, but, the like last 250 are going to be a lot of indie names that maybe not a lot of people heard of. And there's a lot of people outside of America, Europe, Japan that maybe people have no idea, or even PWI may have slipped through the cracks on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mickey James and the beautiful people have been announced to be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. So not the only Hall of Fame news with Stephanie McMahon that happened recently over the weekend. So congrats to Mickey James. Congrats to the beautiful people. The beautiful people were on what busted open, and then the TNA president popped on, and he told them like, "Hey, you guys are going in." Mickey James, obviously, she's not in the WWE Hall of Fame yet, is she? No, we need to fix that. We need Mickey in there. But the TNA Hall of Fame, I mean, Mickey had an unbelievable run in TNA. Two great stints. I mean, after she left WWE, that the early into the later 2010s, she really defined herself there. And then, of course, what she did a couple years ago during the pandemic with the last rodeo, awesome stuff. And then the beautiful people, man. I mean, they were one of the reasons why TNA was watched, man. I mean, they weren't just obviously a attractive talent, but the stuff they were doing in the ring and the storytelling they were doing was ahead of its time. And oftentimes people do credit them for starting the Divas Women's Revolution, whatever you want to call it. Thoughts on Mickey James and the beautiful people going in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, two women's acts that definitely were a big deal in TNA's history, so it's not a shock that these people were able to get in there. I mean, Mickey James, she's had a eclectic career. I mean, she's basically like she's like almost like Kurt Angle. Like she's well known in WWE as much as she is in TNA. And the stuff she did in TNA might be a little better than what she was doing in WWE because she never really got that chance, I think, on a consistent basis at least to be with WWE. So, TNA, I think, definitely deserved, the beautiful people.
You
Shout
re-
out a young Brandon, almost going to graduate high school, big fan of Velvet Sky back in the day.
yeah, met the beautiful people. Starcast weekend, the first AEW Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, met Mickey James and Velvet Sky WrestleMania 31 WrestleCon, so that was a good time.
there you go.
Respectfully, of course.
How was that?
It was a good time.
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago now. I mean, Mickey James, I would say, is a little more personable in terms of like, we talked a little bit. Velvet Sky was more just like one of those, take
Mickey
the
James, she gave us a shout out.
yeah, shout out Mickey James, friend of the podcast. Congrats.
Yes, yes, yes. Acquaintance to Jace. Yeah, man. But you really think Mickey didn't get her just doing WWE? I mean, I obviously like, or was it just the landscape of like wrestling back then? Because like, I don't know. Because I mean, obviously, like the talent, they're everywhere now, given with all the deals that are happening. But yeah, I mean, like, I just I don't know. Maybe it's just because she was always the champion. From what I remember, that I think she did great during her time. But are you saying what she never got to achieve, kind of like what Becky and like Rhea is happening now, like just that mainstream status?
A little bit. And I think, maybe it's also the fact she has been in TNA so much that she's kind of not in that same vein as the Trishas and Litas and Chynas and all those, type of women.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Masha Slamovich news. This is something.
Yep, it's a tough situation. Not even the partner of Masha, but a friend of the partner of Masha came out and put this whole Dropbox out on the internet, and it has a bunch of different evidence of pictures and
Dude,
text
man.
messages.
The Dropbox is like what, like 170 images? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and she's already been pulled from a West Coast Pro show. She's been pulled from other shows, I think a Prestige show or something like that. So she's
Yeah, and then TNA's investigating. I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions on this. I'm seeing people like, "Oh, innocent until proven guilty," and all this other stuff. Masha Slamovich, another person that's been on the show. Uh, but what are your? I mean, I sure you looked at the evidence. What are your take?
I mean, it's a tough situation all the way around. it does showcase that men can be in abusive relationships too.
Yes.
And it was just, if you look through it, it's just over like really petty, like simple stuff that, kind of escalates situations. Masha did put out a response
A
last
statement.
night.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Ba-
I'll read the statement. So this is coming from the Twitter of Masha Slamovich. Up until the beginning of this year, I was in a toxic and mutually destructive relationship. We hurt each other deeply, and in private moments, failed to treat each other with the consideration and respect we both deserve. I, I take responsibility for my actions, and I am sorry, embarrassed, and ashamed of the role I played in our relationship and the way things turned out. In the time since, I have sought help to reflect on this time and deal with conflict in more mature, healthier, and sustainable ways. I apologize to those that I let down, including my former partner. I hope he is able to heal. This will be my only statement on the matter, Masha.
yeah, I mean, it's more of like a statement of like just the situation was bad and not like kind of taking, not exactly addressing the allegations or everything that was going on to begin with. So there was a lot of people
Yeah,
that was saying it was more of a I'm sorry I got caught than I'm sorry for what happened type of situation.
that
Um,
that sounds familiar.
her country or her contract is allegedly running due on TNA. She was pulled from the invasion angle on NXT. It's
Yeah,
she was one of those women talents that you thought could, be something on either AEW or WWE, and
absolutely. I mean,
doesn't look like that's the case now.
Masha Slamovich, Russian Dynamite. She is an unbelievable talent. There's an intensity behind everything she brings to the ring. But this is a wild one. Like this wasn't on my bingo card for the year. A lot of things that happened this year weren't on my bingo card.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of like literally dropped out of the blue. Like there was no like rumors or no like, things kind of leading up to this point. It just kind of like got dropped on us, and now we're seeing the fallout of it.
Yeah. Hopefully this can be resolved. And what was brother's name? Akira.
Yeah, he's also a wrestler as
Yes.
well.
Yeah. No, I've seen him at West Coast multiple times. I'm a fan of his work. I don't know what's going on. Has he spoken out about this at all? Has he said anything?
I know he said that he had no involvement in terms of like the timing of the release of the Dropbox. So, like I said, it was not him that released it. It was like his friend that released it. Now, I don't know, how all of this evidence was gathered in one perfect little, you know, Dropbox.
Well,
But
if you if
it seems as though maybe they were leading to this point, and maybe like the friend jumped the gun.
yeah, he just gathered everything and just did it. Um, what you call it? Yeah, man. Just
It's a real tough situation, to be honest. And unfortunately we had a lot of the speaking out stuff in 2000, in 2020, and now we're still having to deal with some of these issues, all these years later. So
yeah. Like I said, hopefully everybody involved can um get help, find some semblance of peace, and hopefully eventually move on with their lives in a positive manner and light, man. Yeah, yeah. What you call it? Deadline is going to be making a biopic about the Macho Man. Yeah, Eiffel Tower of Power, funky like a monkey, too sweet to be sour. Yeah. I'm all right. That's my mom. What's it? Have you?
I'm pretty sure we've done one before, and I try, and
I did that.
I say I don't have it in my bag, so I don't try it. I mean, the only one I got is from Spider-Man, where we got, oh, I got you for 3 minutes, 3 minutes of that. See, that's just terrible, just terrible. Just I'm not even gonna try.
3 minutes. Yeah, Keenan Thompson from Keenan and Kel, all that. Yeah, he's SNL. He's gonna be spearheading this. I guess I was looking at some footage. I guess Macho Man did something on was it all that back in like '99, and he and Keenan like became tight or whatever. So he's helping spearhead this. This is awesome.
Yeah, seems like a fun project. We've had Iron Claw. There's who knows what's going on with a Vince or Hulk Hogan thing. I think Macho Man is definitely a interesting enough character. Dating back to his early days in his baseball career, and then obviously his
Yes.
wrestling life.
What you call it? I read his brother Lanny Poffo, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. He was helping working on the script, so we'll uh we'll we'll see if any of his excerpts help come to light. But yeah,
I
now
mean,
that's
it's one of those things that he's so iconic that it might be a little too hard. Like the person who played Ric Flair in the Iron Claw. Like if you're not a spot on like exact replica of Macho Man, especially for us, it's gonna be hard to portray him unless they really like kind of take him out of the character. But that was kind of the thing is he was Macho Man was not all that different than Randy Poffo.
yeah. I mean, I would hear I heard like Pritchard uh tell the story. They were at like some pool party and Macho Man was meeting some uh or Pritchard introduced Macho Man to some guy, and then after Macho Man walked away, the guy was like, "Hey man, he's gonna. I know he's like plays a character on TV, but he's got to like cut that out. He's gonna hurt his voice." And Pritchard was like, "Oh no, he's not doing a voice. That's him." So just cool stuff. Yeah. So I'm excited to see this, man. I really am. Hopefully they can do it justice. That's decent enough. Like Iron Claw, I don't remember seeing really any bad negative press about the Iron Claw. I feel like everybody, casual fans and the hardcores, I feel like everybody was fine with what happened with it. Hopefully,
My thing was more just like the portrayal of Ric Flair because like
yeah,
the guy who was Ric
that
Flair
was
was
the
bad.
one thing out of the whole movie. Like the dude that played Harley Race, spot on, spot on. So hopefully, they can find somebody to do the Macho Man justice. Jasmine Nix leaves WWE. She put out a video saying that WWE offered to renew her contract, and it just financially didn't it, it wouldn't help her out. Or how do I want to put this? I guess basically the contract they offered her financially it wasn't enough for her, so she decided to not re-sign with the company. She was a part of the NIL program. She was playing soccer in Iceland.
Yeah, I mean, she talked about that in her little video about, where she came from, and she had like a lot of knee injuries, like at the
Yeah,
very beginning of her career, so it was kind of hard for her to kind of get that footing. And, you know, clearly she wasn't like, one of the top, people at NXT and like on, the verge of getting a main roster call up or anything like that. But, she still had some sort of talent. There was something there. They wrote her off, I think, either last week or, a few times ago that, just a beatdown angle. Maybe they're going to do something with her. And no, it was just a way to write her off television.
yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, maybe this isn't the end of her wrestling career. Maybe she'll be back in some capacity or find another wrestling outlet. But Jasmine Nix, shout out. All right, the NXT or the TNA NXT invasion happened this weekend. You see Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder. You see what is her name again? The
The inspiration.
the inspiration. Yes, not I wanted to say iconic so bad. I missed the iconics. They there was like a cool like 2 month run on this podcast where they popped us. Anything they did, they were insanely hilarious. That they were awesome.
I still say you gotta be joking me all the time.
All right. I go. Just great stuff. Who else? Who else did we see? Cedric Alexander. He was in there. Yeah, man. Just cool stuff. Nice to see this happening. Trick Williams on the side of TNA, and then while all this is going down, Ricky Saints has his eyes on the NXT Championship. He's looking at it. He's going to try to grab it and hold it. And Oba Femi's like, So, what are your thoughts on the NXT TNA invasion or the TNA NXT invasion? And then, what are your thoughts on Ricky Saints and Oba Femi? Isn't No Mercy this weekend?
I believe so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it was something they teased last week during the homecoming show because there was a lot of TNA people who were like tweeting their dissatisfaction with NXT. So they definitely were telegraphing this, and then it led to the invasion angle. WWE invasion angles have a perfect track record, so I have no, you know, I have no issues that this will not pan out perfectly fine at the end of the day. We do have Bound for Glory around the corner, so maybe that's going to be a big focal point of Bound for Glory. It's going to be a lot of NXT TNA matchups. And then Ricky Saints taking on Obafemi. I mean, Ricky Saints, as someone who doesn't watch NXT that much, I don't feel like I'm feeling a lot of hype behind Ricky Sainz since he came back. Like, he's done some good things. He had the match with Ethan Page at the in Atlanta, but getting the chance, Obafemi, like I said, I'm a big fan of him and think he could be a big, big star. But this is one of the bigger matches I think they can put on in terms of just full blown, NXT people for a match.
Ab- Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, let's go into Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have their promo. Cody's out there, and then Seth comes out there immediately. And basically, the gist of this is Seth saying, "You think you're the QB1? You think you're the guy to lead this into the future? No, that's me." Basically, what Seth's been talking about this whole time with this Vision run, and Cody says, I thank Seth because you made me better given coming back at WrestleMania 38, and then all the matches we had together. That Hell in the Cell match made me realize I'm stronger than I actually am, and then you were my shield at WrestleMania 40. Seth Rollins talks about the watch Cody gave him at WrestleMania 40, how he hasn't worn it since. And Cody basically said, "Well, basically, like you think you could beat me. I know I could beat you. I beat you 3 times in a row. So, what are your thoughts on this?"
I mean, these, kind of random champion matches are going to be a little tough to build in such short notice, but I thought they did a fine job here, playing off the history that they had both, on the same side and against each other in the past. And, it's a champion match, so they're going to talk about trying to beat the top guy. So I thought it was fine for what it was. Like, no real like, progression. There's not really an angle, which not every angle needs to be an angle. Not every segment needs to be an angle. So I thought it was, perfectly fine to kick off the show and to kind of get the ball rolling because I would assume we're going to get more between them in the next what? I mean, it's only two more weeks, two more shows, at least on Raw until the post
Yeah,
show.
yeah. We're gonna have to. Maybe Seth makes an appearance on SmackDown.
Maybe.
Maybe. Jay Uso defeats LA Knight because the Vision got involved. Then Jimmy Uso comes out there to kind of ward off the Vision. What are your thoughts?
They continue to play off the tension between Jay and Knight. I still wonder who's going to be the heel, if there is going to be a heel turn at the end of the day. But, Jey Uso gets the win, like you said, with a little bit of help or a little bit of interference from the Vision. So maybe Jay, kind of leans into that, or maybe LA Knight complains, and then we run it back sometime at in Perth. I'm still kind of like up in the air on exactly where they're going with this because I feel like it's the smarter idea to go with LA Knight as a heel and kind of maybe push him to the top because Cody, I think, needs heel challengers. But they do love the shock and surprise of Jey Uso. But we've seen Seth Rollins not change his character from turning heel. So I would love to see what Jay would do because you can't be yeeting as a heel. But they
No,
probably
no,
would try.
you can't. You can't. Thoughts on the backstages with the Cody and the Usos?
I thought it was, solid storytelling. Cody is a SmackDown guy, so he's not really on Raw all too often to kind of, interact with them and kind of giving his 2 cents on the whole situation. And I think that's always like a good thing to like have not just, not the champion get involved with other things, but just having like other people involved with the champion because it makes the champion and the championship feel like a much bigger deal instead of it just kind of it being its own little island.
Absolutely. Cody was that dude on Raw when he first came back. I mean, he was on Raw up until what? Up until what? The Raw after WrestleMania 40 when he went over to SmackDown?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was basically the Raw guy, and then once he got the championship, he took over for Roman.
Yep. Um, Roman apparently is finished wrapping Street Fighter in like today or tomorrow. So Tribal Chief should be coming back soon.
Right around the corner for Survivor Series coming up, and
Well, he's on the Perth Crown Jewel graphic.
no, he's on the graphic. So if he's on the graphic, that means he's going to be on the show. That's the rules.
Yeah, like people were tripping about Clash in Paris. Like, why is he on the poster if he's not going to be there? And then he was there. Like, God, let's calm down. Let's calm down. The Kabuki Warriors attacked Io Sky. Later out, they hit Rhea Ripley with the mist. I like how they're calling them Riho.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If it was a fine match between Rhea and Asuka, of course, we couldn't get a clean finish because Kyrie got involved a little bit there, and then we get the back and forth, and we thought, oh, maybe it's gonna be a swerve, bro, and Io's gonna attack Rhea. Nope, Asuka attacks uh, EO, which is kind of what they've been building up this entire time. So it sets up a tag match at in Perth, presumably of Rhea and EO taking on the Kabuki Warriors. And God bless Kyrie. I know I deemed Lyra Valkyria the worst actress in WWE. I think it might be Kyrie now.
Really?
It might, 1 week reign for Lyra, just for Kyrie, and
What are your thoughts on the? Well, first off, Oscar heel Oscar's always been great. Good stuff. So we're gonna get it's good. We get EO to. So I assume we're gonna do wait. Okay, are we gonna do Rio versus the Kabuki Warriors in Perth? I assume that's where we're going. But then who challenges Stephanie Vaquer?
I don't know. Adam Pearce always got something up his sleeve. Maybe Nikki Bella. I mean, they did tease a little bit. Like I think they had like a little backstage segment a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. They did. We don't know what's going on with Becky. We don't know what's going on with AJ. Yeah. Pucks off TV. It's interesting to see what
Didn't talk about that. You're gonna get your match at Perth, apparently, Philip. You're gonna get John Cena and AJ Styles.
Yes, we are. Dude, the franchise player. Big Match John put out Styles versus Cena hashtag Raw. The people heard, and we got our wish, man. We're gonna have to do a podcast talking about all the Cena Styles matches because that 2016 SummerSlam match, man, that is still up there for me. It's still on the top 10. It was awesome. I remember how I felt watching it. I've watched it multiple times since then. And then Royal Rumble 2017, when Cena wins the 16th title and they don't leave the ring, that's another great one. But that SummerSlam one, it just set the bar. It just set the bar. I'm excited to see that. I mean, one last time, man. I really am. We only have 5 dates left. It was just crazy. I've been looking at SummerSlam thing. Or not SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Gonna take out a small loan for that.
Well, it was section 122, like row 30. It was like 280.
That's what I was looking. I mean, I was looking at WrestleMania tickets. We might. I'm not saying I'm going to WrestleMania, but I'm just saying we might go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in Vegas for Mania and Broly. Just
Might be the last American WrestleMania ever, so gotta take advantage of it.
yeah, I mean we're again we're gonna have that podcast where we talk about like the whole TKO and WrestleMania of it all. Bailey, what are your thoughts?
Um, I mean, continuing with the bipolar act, doesn't play into Lyra's acting all that well, but at least we're not piping in fake voices in the crowd or in the speakers in the arena, so that's a positive, I guess. They're definitely playing it slow because Bailey's not really selling what's going on. So, um, yeah, we're putting this all to Perth. I think this is kind of more just like its own Raw kind of storyline. Maybe this builds to a Lyra Bailey match or a tag team match, with them for the tag titles or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. All right, AEW.
AEW coming out of All Out. They were in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Eventful show. I thought a really good show from AEW's
Looks
front.
good.
A lot of matches, a lot of the championship matches where the champions who just won on the pay-per-view aren't going to lose, but a lot of good wrestling and some interesting setups for the next coming weeks. We did kick off with Brodito in GOA for the tag titles. Brodito won, as you'd expect. Good match.
Justice for Toa Leona.
Ricochet was on commentary, so maybe they do something with that. But it was just
What's
like I
the
said,
group called again? The Divide.
it's the demand.
Oh, the demand. The demand.
Yeah. Then
Well,
Hangman
because
Page.
they demand respect. Is that it?
I guess. And
Yeah.
Ricochet's still wearing that Eagles hat. He's been wearing that hat ever since Super Bowl. Respect the pettiness. Hangman Page, and they're in Pittsburgh too, so it made sense. So Hangman Page then defeated Lee Moriarty for the Men's World Championship. Once again, solid match. Ending wasn't really in doubt there. We did get a backstage. I guess it was more of like a video from what happened after All Out with Copeland and Cage, and they were talking with each other. And Cope said, he doesn't know if he can do this anymore. What does that mean? I don't know. This has led to the internet speculating, his contract's up. He's going to wrestle John Cena Saturday Night's Main Event. Settle down. I think this is all just, him stepping away for a little bit, take some time off because he's not an everyday wrestler.
Well, apparently he is gonna go film Percy Jackson, the newest Percy Jackson movie. Look, man, I mean that's the obviously one last time, man. Like that's what we all want. We know if Cena did an open challenge and you think we hit could you imagine when's that Madison Square Garden date? The November 10th or 17th?
Either or. I think it's
Either
the 17th. I think it's after Boston.
Cena does an open challenge and that hits and they do it one last time in the Garden. That would be dope, but it's most likely not going to happen. Yeah, so Cope's gonna go home. FTR is this the FTR bit?
Yeah, they did a promo. They said sorry, not sorry for attacking Beth. Put all the onus on her for attacking them. Willow comes out and Jet Speed come out, so that's probably gonna be a little interim feud.
Okay.
While Copeland is gone, whatever he's doing, because like you said, I assume he's going to come back. Another comeback, we had Orange Cassidy. He returned. He was in a 6-man tag with the Conglomeration, taking on the Don Callis family. So good to see OC back. And Kyle Fletcher returned here and cut a little promo. Talked about Hologram being undefeated.
What's up with Hologram?
Well, he is undefeated 34-0, I believe. And
did they bring back Dark and Dark Elevation? Jesus Christ.
They are doing the evil clone, I guess. This has mainly been a Collision thing, but they did do a little thing on Dynamite here. But Dynamite's 6-year anniversary is next week, so we will be getting Kyle Fletcher taking on Hologram for the TNT title.
6 years.
Yep, they've been doing it 6 years now at this point, and so they set
I remember that first episode.
I remember because it was the last time the Oakland A's ever had a playoff game in the Coliseum. So sad. Anyways, yeah, so they're setting up a lot of big things. They also introduced the women's tag team championship, so more titles. Love that. I joke about the titles and stuff. At least this is like a different division and it makes it different. It's not like, the lightweight championship where it's like, okay, it's really like that much of a difference between the other 7 titles we have here. But
wait till they get the only the lightweights wrestle for that. Duh. Wait till they get the women's trios titles.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Then main event, we get Chris Statlander defeating Mina Shirakawa for the women's championship. Once again,
not
good
Mina
match.
Shirakawa.
I know. Good match. Statlander pins her with the seatbelt again, so another roll up. So I don't think Mina's really here. A lot of ROH people, at least her and Moriarty, are ROH champions losing to the AEW champions. So it kind of shows you where ROH is in the pecking order. And then we had a kind of extended angle at the end where whatchamacallit, Wheeler Yuta comes out, hugs Statlander hugs him back, and then she hits him with a clothesline. Her and Harley Cameron run up the ring. So, Death Riders are NWO, Chris Statlander is DDP, and then Sting comes out, aka Darby Allin, with a fucking flamethrower, and he challenges Jon Moxley to an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream next month, and that also sets up a tag match, which for Darby and Chris taking on Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir. So we're going to get a rare Marina Shafir match on Dynamite next week. And also a 6-person tag with Hangman and the Ops taking on the Death Riders. Yeah, because Jon Moxley is going to be in that one. So, like I said, Dynamite's 6th anniversary next week. Should be a big show. Dynamite on the right foot after All Out, I would say.
All right. You love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, Oasis Pro season premiere is tomorrow in Benicia at the Veterans Hall, 6 p.m. You already know what's going down over there. If you don't, I'm going to tell you. All right, here we go. Main event, the Pacific Seas champion, El Fatal and Punjabi Lion Chima going up against THC's Dante Daring and Midas Creed. You also have Starboy Charlie versus Lyda J, Titus Alexander versus Mia Sweets, Samoan Reaper versus Daniel Torch versus Giga Herrera versus Bishop Dorian in a 4-way fade, Damo Hawaii versus Oak, the South Pacific Savages versus the Gator Boys, and then they want to know what's next with the Mob and the Mafia. Ain't nothing next with the Mob and the Mafia. That's done. Finito. It's out of here. It's nothing else happening. And then also the Ugwa Sofa Street Fair is happening. Beatrice Domino will be in action over there. Make sure you go pull up over there on a Sunday and check that out. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. We will be back next week with more pro wrestling talk. Have an interview in talks to get it scheduled for next week. I got to confirm that and make that happen. But other than that, that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.